You really gave it to Max when he said we should have it just be like a general entertainment show, and you're like, oh.
I'd love to give it to Max up the arse with my cock spunking. That would make a nice pre-show bit. I can just start the show now.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah? Let's fucking do it. Let's go crazy. Let's go mental. Let's go unreasonable. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Podtoid episode 167. I'm your host, Jim Sterling. I am joined, as always, by Jonathan Holmes.
Hi.
Tara Long.
Hello again.
And Max Scoville, who's got a story for us.
I am in the bath right now.
Oh! Ooh.
I got an idea from a weird thing you said to Tara about rubber ducks.
That wasn't a weird thing.
Okay.
That wasn't weird at all.
I told Tara a charming thing where yesterday, in the middle of the day, I was having a bath. And I was in the bath naked, just putting my hands over my mouth going, "Won't you be my friend, Tara Long? Won't you be my friend, Tara Long?" That's not creepy.
I the thought process that led to you saying that.
Well, I was already doing that. Oh, be my friend. And then I just decided, well, obviously the demon's going to be talking to Tara. Obviously. So, Tara Long, friend to the demonic. Obviously.
So that gave me the idea that I should take a bath, because I don't take baths much anymore, and I have a lovely clawfoot bathtub, which I almost fit into.
We have one too, and it's filled with cardboard right now from our couch.
That's terrible.
Who sends a couch in cardboard? That's ridiculous.
Sends a couch?
IKEA
I don't know. Where'd you buy your couch? Because probably them.
Who sent it? Some guys? Oh, they're good company. Yeah.
I actually ran down to the Walgreens before we started to get a bottle of Mr. Bubble.
You're fucking treating yourself.
Did you win
the lottery?
I didn't even get paid yet, but I was gonna get wine because we have all this cheese, but I came home and then Jen brought me pizza and I had a Monster Energy drink, so I'm in like a weird... I wish somebody was here to paint me. I wish Botticelli was still alive, because I'm just in a bathtub wearing a headset microphone, drinking a Monster Energy drink.
What do you got clothes on, or?
No, I'm fucking naked, Holmes.
Wow,
That's
man.
how I take baths.
Like
That's weird. Not everyone takes baths naked, Max. Not everyone does. No.
Who is taking baths, like, in full regimented uniform?
Well, we know who Holmes hangs out with.
Fucking Colonel Bath Time in the tub with a full-on fucking Admiral's uniform, Colonel's uniform, just, "Get me my Mr. Bubbly!"
And a powdered wig.
Yes. "Get me my Mr. Bubbly! I'm going to sit in the bathtub and eat fondue! Wearing my full regimented uniform, having a fondue bath, and watching The Great Gatsby live performed in the shower!"
I bet Holmes bathes with his clothes on.
I bet he does.
Only when there's video cameras.
No, every day. Every day. You, in a tuxedo, your special bath tuxedo, and you've got a rubber duck, and that is wearing a duck-shaped tuxedo.
Aww.
You actually call it tuxedo time, and you admit the bath bit, so people hear it and they think, wow, Jonathan Holmes has tuxedo time every morning, he must be really cultured. What they don't know is you're in the bath, fully dressed in a tuxedo, and shitting yourself in the bath.
That's disgusting, Holmes.
That may happen.
Brown.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I think you may be predicting the future.
No,
because
I want to do a thing. I really want to do this. I want to just get to a point in my life where I can sort of justify this by saying there's a point to it, but I really just want to put on a tuxedo and, like, you know how, like, stupid, annoying, famous, rich people can go to the zoo and, like, be like, "I want to play with the animals," and they'll be like, "Okay." I want to do that with the penguins while wearing a tuxedo, and I just want to, like, I want pictures taken. Like, I don't care. I don't know what they're for. I just want to be in funny pictures where I'm just...
You can go to the zoo and have your pictures taken with a penguin. You don't have to be famous to do that.
I don't want there to be, like, tourists there, because they are stupid looking. They're underdressed for the penguins. I think it should be a black tie only thing for the penguin exhibit. Like, Why don't they have that?
Do you think if you were rich enough, you could pay a zoo to let you pin a wallaby down to the ground and just scream in its face? Just knock it over, grab it by its little legs, pin it down, and just wallaby! Rocco's modern fucking life, you prick!
That would be pretty funny if you got rich enough that you're like, I just want to go into the zoo and like not abuse
fuck shit up.
animals. It wouldn't be abuse, really. It would just be bothering the animals. Like, it'd be the same stuff you do behind glass when you're poor, except you're rich, so you can actually go in the cage. And if you get batted in the face, it's cool.
Yeah.
You sign a non-disclosure agreement. You're like, I won't tell anybody that the zookeepers are all fucking assholes, you know. But you go in.
Do you think you'd be allowed to just sit there, like, in front of the toucan cage, in a deck chair, just, like, putting Fruit Loops in the palm of your hands and then just flicking it at the bird's face?
Oh, that'd be funny.
Just like that. Just have some of that. Hoist by your own petard, you fucking bird.
I really like toucans.
I actually love toucans. They're my favourite.
Yeah, that would be so mean.
I like animals, but I think it's funny when you mess with them.
It's the same thing as Helga in Hey Arnold. It's like, I love toucans so much I want to hurt them.
Like... I mean, there's there's Jackass, which is people doing stupid things to other people.
I think I've left the oven on. Sorry, keep talking amongst yourselves. I'm going to make sure...
That's okay, I'm in the bath. I can't get it, but... it's weird. It's like if we had a house together. But yeah, no, I think that it would be funny if, instead of Jackass, it was like, with animals. Like, I mean, the thing about the crocodile hunter, rest in peace, is he was trying to educate, but do what he does, but... not for education, just for entertainment. Like,
oven's off! False alarm!
Okay.
Well, I feel like if there was a show like that, it'd probably be on TLC.
Oh yeah, totally. Which makes me sad. I don't know. I'd love to have a show. It's not like, I mean, of course no one would allow this to happen because like animal rights people are kind of dicks.
Well, they have shows about like hunting various animals on TV all the time.
Yeah.
They're not exactly nice to the
hunting
animals.
is one thing, but punching a deer in the ass is like...
I mean, isn't that what Steve Irwin used to do? Just like trolling animals.
Saying.
Yeah.
But it was under the guise of education.
Yeah.
Imagine Jackass at the zoo. Like, just like you have... I mean, they kind of did that on Jackass. There was the time that like Bam put an alligator in his mom's kitchen. That was pretty fucking funny. Like, imagine a whole show that's just animals. Like... I mean, PETA would be on that before the episode was up. They'd be like, "You're being mean to animals," and it's like, "Nah, man, animals are mean to people sometimes."
Damn right. It should be exclusively like predatory animals. So it's like we get our own back. So
it's more dangerous, also.
Oh yeah, more dangerous as well. It's like if you control an alligator, you've earned it. That's basically, and you can't be against that because it's like, well, fair play to him. He trolled an alligator. Well done. So it's basically, like you get 5 of you, knock the alligator on its back, and then just throw eggs at its belly. just whooping eggs at its belly while screaming, "Stupid alligator, stupid alligator."
It's pretty funny.
Kick it down a hill and run away.
I mean, how many alligators have eaten people? Or bitten people. It's like kind of funny to just get the alligator and be like, we get revenge. Now we're going to throw eggs at it. We're not going to kill it. We're not going to make a purse out of it.
Alligators actually tend to avoid people.
Yeah, if you sit
except when you bother them.
Can't see
you.
Yeah,
well, if we've got our hands on an alligator, it didn't do a good enough job. So
you're just treating them with respect like you would any other peer.
It's basically what the Native Americans did.
Yeah. Go to like a park where children are playing and take it up the slide. Do you call it slide or shoot?
Slide.
We call them slides. Yeah, shoots and ladders is for
push it down a slide. Imagine a greased up alligator going down a slide, a really long one.
It might like it.
Yeah.
What if you made it watch movies with you?
People are lined up along each side of the slide, just throwing custard pies in the alligator's face while it goes down.
That's like that's not even like Victorian cruelty. That's just like weird cruelty.
Well, I mean,
is it that cruel? How do you know?
At the end of
it's humiliating the alligator.
I mean, it's stuff that a 9-year-old kid does to his cat, but you do it to an alligator.
The thing is,
so it's funny.
I never did anything.
We'll call the show. We'll call the show.
Because you're not a serial murderer.
Alligator humiliation, the new sensation, right? People will flock to put it on TLC. They like that kind of shit on there because TLC is the modern equivalent of the Victorian freak show.
It's true.
It's like we're no longer allowed to get like Siamese. Oh yes, you call them. What do you call them now? Conjoindos, Kit Kat people. You can't get them. Right? You're not allowed.
The racist term, or
No, because Kit Kats,
it is chocolatey.
Two chocolates. No, they're two chocolates joined together, aren't they?
Give them a break, and one of them might actually die. So
you snap. That is true of Kit Kats as well. There was one I snapped a Kit Kat in half, and one just went kind of grey and just kind of grey and atrophied and fell apart in my hand. The other one was fucking delicious. But you can't do that anymore. You can't get like Siameseos and like little pillow men and those fellas with 3 legs, all those kids that age really fast, the ones that look like they're out of Mac and Me. You can't put. Yeah, I mean, well, it sounds like a Star Trek race anyway. And you can't put them in cages anymore, charge a bit of gander, and just sort of throw cupcakes at them while laughing and saying, good heavens, if my boy was like that, I'd throw him in the river. You can't do that anymore. But,
however, you can have a show about a woman who's a mean woman who has 8 children and who is mean to her husband, but her husband's also a douchebag who cheats on her. And the 8 children are obnoxious. You can have a show about that. That's not like you can have toddlers and tiaras. That's not cruel. But the second you start making fun of people who are different, then it's wrong. And the animals, you can't make fun of the animals either. I just want to see some fucking. I think reality TV needs to take a turn for the Victorian.
Well, it needs to be more honest. It needs to be more honest. You can't have some. It's like that Scared Straight. Have you seen that one where they get the kids who are like
yeah, in juvie.
Yeah, they send these, like, runaway kids or these bad children that do drugs or do crimes or whatever, and they send them to grown-up prison for a day, and the prisoners are all like, you know, I was in here for drugs. I thought it was fun, but it ain't. You're gonna die in here. Right? And then the kids are crying, and it's called, like, Scared Straight, and we're supposed to sit there thinking, yes, this is good for society.
That's not educational.
Back.
That's
what
just
we're
fun to
all
watch.
really thinking is, those fucking douchebag kids are crying. And that's what the show should be called. Those fucking douchebag kids are crying.
What's that German word? Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
Schadenfreude.
That's what it is. It's like grief pornography. That's my favourite term of the new millennium, grief pornography. And it's like that fucking toddlers in tiaras and that dancing moms or whatever it's called. All of them should be held under the umbrella of one title name called Stay Tuned, One of These Hags Might Eat One of Them. Because that's what we're all watching and waiting to see. We're hoping one of those hawk-faced bitches will suddenly go, and just dislocate her fucking gnarled jaw and swallow her own kid.
Do you guys remember the boy who went up in the balloon boy, the hot air balloon boy, a couple years ago?
The balloon boy.
Sure.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Apparently his family used to be on like trading spaces, wife swap or some shit.
Oh God, wife swap.
I don't know.
That's a real show?
Terrible. Oh,
that's a real show?
I do hope the kid wasn't on wife swap. Although
apparently that family is like the reason they pretended to have their child lost in a hot air balloon is that they're just like they live off of like, you know, tabloid stuff. I mean, they wanted to get attention. They were on that. They were on some other reality show. But my old boss, he worked in reality TV, like shooting. He worked on like Hogan Knows Best. But he was telling me he worked with that family. And like the weird thing about when you're shooting something like Trading Spaces or Wife Swap is you basically have to live in this family's house for however long it takes to shoot the episode. And you're pretty much just observing them. It's like being Jane Goodall, but with like, you know, weirdos. And he was saying how this kid, like in that episode particularly, I think they swapped in like the mother from some African American family into this like weird kind of just bunch of white people.
Bunch of KKK members.
Yeah, a bunch of the Klansman
family. Are you talking about
family.
the bacon episode?
Yeah, all he wanted to eat was bacon, I think.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite clips on YouTube ever. Is the little kid just saying like, "I want bacon." It's so funny. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that kid is going to be a monster.
Just like this precocious little like fat kid who like wants to eat bacon nonstop.
That's Balloon Boy. That's Balloon Boy.
He sounds nice.
No, it's not.
There's also
that's the same boy who was in the balloon,
isn't it? Okay, well then I've heard it mixing with a different story. Guy. There is that kid, Balloon Boy, is on an episode of Wife Swap or Trading, whatever the fuck it is. And his dad later went on to make a video where he was looking at. It's just a video of him looking at photographs of like from the Mars rover, and trying to point out the signs of aliens. but he's like, there's one where he's just out, like in Photoshop, he just outlines the shape of a rock, and he's like, yeah, that's an alien skull. You can look at it; it's right there. You can see it, and I'm like, you just colored it red. It's a rock. Like, maybe that's what alien skulls look like. Maybe that's what rocks look like.
Yeah,
you never know.
We'll never know.
But apparently, their kid is like just a nightmare. Just like really, really racist, crazy. But anyway, I don't know.
So you raise them in that fucking culture where basically you've taught him you can make a career out of being known for not being known. And it's like, that's gotta fuck up a kid's brain. And that's the problem with America. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Thatcher's Britain all over again.
Thatcher's the lady, right?
Yep.
Right. I wasn't in Britain during her reign.
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
I was. Crazy days. I had to work in the coal mine. I was about 3. Sorry, I was trying to talk, everybody!
Yeah, I want to hear what you have to say.
It's definitely not that kid. I just looked it up. Because the wife is Asian, so their kids are like half Asian. But I was going to say, if you're on wife swap, then there's probably no hope for you anyway, because you're probably legitimately a crazy person. Because who would want to go on that show?
Well, there's hope for crazy people.
It's like if I was invited to be on a reality show of any kind, I would automatically refuse it, because I just think, if that's the... And I agree with what Ricky Gervais says here. It's like, Ricky Gervais was once asked, like, what was your advice to anyone who wants to be famous? And he said, I'd tell him to go murder a prostitute. Because if that's your end goal, if that's all you want to be, all you want to do in life is be famous, you might as well go out and fucking kill a prostitute. Because, you know, that's it. There's your goal achieved. There's no merit in it. No...
Oh, sure.
Talent, no self-respect. And it's like, that to me is like the ultimate lack of self-respect, is to...
Thanks, Jim. That's great.
Famous.
Thanks.
Shut up, reality boy. Is to get famous, is to go out and be famous on a reality show or write for Kotaku. It's one of those two things, I think, that needs a lack of self-respect in your talent. Only joking, Brian Ashcraft. Keep doing stories about women licking doorknobs.
I like how his email is just Bashcraft. And I'm like, he has mastered the craft of bashing things.
Bashing the bishop over pictures of very young-looking Japanese girls, allegedly.
So I'd like to point out to anyone who's not familiar, Jonathan Holmes was on a reality TV program.
Yeah, I remembered that until I didn't remember that at all until he reminded me.
Right.
Jersey Shore, right?
Actually, Jonathan Holmes is the situation. He kept it quiet, you know.
He was the situation of the early '90s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was a sensation. It's true.
Yeah. He is also one of Snooki's 2 stunt doubles. So
I sort of know who we're talking about. Snooki is just a funny sounding set of words, or is that 2 words or 1?
One.
Like Snooki, it's a 1 word.
Can you imagine fucking Snooki? It would be like sticking your dick in a bucket of cold baked beans.
Or a bucket of water, is what I was going to say. I kind of love her, though.
My favourite phrase is, you might as well open a window and fuck the night. I love that phrase.
That's really fucking good.
Who wrote that?
I know. It is not one of
like
mine.
Something Batman would do.
I think it's like an old British colloquial, not colloquial, like an old British term, but I love it. That and, the old chucking a hot dog up a dark alley is another good one.
I've actually done that.
Never heard that either.
Overrated.
I was trying to catch a raccoon. It didn't work. Anyway, I'm in a bath still. You guys want to talk about me? I'm in a bath.
Yeah, let's talk about you. You're in a bath.
Oh, I had a thing.
Max Scoville. Excuse me, Max Scoville.
Yes.
How considerably darker is your scrotum from the rest of your body?
Ew! I do not want to hear this.
Why not? You are a
That's
girl. That means
lighter.
you love penises.
It's much lighter. It's
much lighter.
Translucent.
Albino scrotum?
It looks like one of those.
It's just
one of
bone
those,
white.
Jim, it looks like one of those shrimp dumplings you get from a Chinese restaurant.
Brilliant.
I'm never eating stuff again.
Have you ever seen spider eggs? It looks like those.
Wow. That's a total nightmare.
Oh,
That's
man.
great.
Yeah, right?
I like to imagine it looks like the Chatterer from Hellraiser. It's just there with little teeth just going like that. Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
So, was I gonna say? I had a thing. I sent out this email company wide to all the three of you, and I was saying, hey, what if instead of being like, what games are you playing, we should ask, what are you into this week? Because I was thinking about it, and really, we talk about a lot of weird tangential shit anyway. I mean, why not just? I mean, we play a lot of games because that's our work. So obviously, games are going to kind of take, first priority. But like, we also watch Anaconda and retarded people.
I don't think there's any rule. You can talk about what you like.
I just think we should give it a more open-ended.
Have you
Jonathan
listened to it? I don't think you've
Holmes.
actually listened to the show.
I'm
Have you
just
listened
saying,
to
like,
it after? It's
always
pretty
weird.
open.
We used to do games of the week. I think it should be things of the week.
Okay.
What have you been doing?
Sure.
You realise all you've done is rename it, because that's what it was, Eddie. That's all
You're
Podtoid
describing
is.
the show
I always
as
felt guilty because I'd be like, I'd download a but. That's why I fucking played Send Jimmy in because
Oh.
Send
So
me
you
Jimmy.
just want to feel good about yourself, basically.
I wanted to feel like I did my homework.
Yeah.
It's like, so what did you do for research? And I was like, I got all these books out of the library. And the
So
fact
that's
is,
what you were doing even after you did your homework? That was like you trying hard to stay on target?
Because all I ever fucking play is Fallout. Like, that's all I do.
Okay. People just want to feel like we're with them. This is a
that it?
virtual
Other
hangout.
games.
Yeah.
Jonathan Holmes!
Yes, sir, Jim.
I reckon,
Mm?
right?
Uh-huh.
Your nipples are the size of dinner plates. Confirm.
No. No.
I would go with pepperonis.
I'm going to have to go back to
No.
my drawing board. I want to draw you naked.
They're
Much
like
more gentle.
pepperonis from those weird restaurants that have like slightly smaller pepperonis, but not really the little ones, but the kind of
more like-
middle-sized pepperonis.
Like those
I like
weird
sausage.
tiny pepperonis we had at our sleepover.
Jonathan Holmes, would
No,
you
not
like
that-
would you like your
Sausages.
nipples to just be
I'm talking-
two Kirby faces that can suck things up and then spit them back out?
Oh, that'd be so fucking weird.
Someone draw that. We've been getting
guys-
some amazing fan art.
Did you guys
Oh, yeah.
play? Did you guys play Dante's Inferno?
Oh yeah, I've still got
Because
it.
one of the parts in that I just totally remembered was fighting lust, and it was just she had these big tits, and they had instead of nipples they just had mouths, and they kept spitting out babies that had spikes for hands. It's fucking terrible.
So Jonathan Holmes,
Yeah, it's
do your
pretty
nipples do that on you?
No. They're
wait.
little raisins.
I've seen your nipples, Holmes.
I bet you have.
I've seen them on a live stream before.
That's
Jonathan-
where they were shown most
Jonathan
recently.
Holmes.
Yes.
Jonathan Holmes.
Uh-huh.
How many
What?
teeth are in your entire body?
That's a good question. I did grow some interesting teeth for a little while that they could have been weaponized, I guess. It's a long story.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I
don't
did not
worry
expect
about
Are you
to get a bite.
Sabretooth?
No, this was when I was younger.
Oh.
Oh, you weren't Sabretooth.
I had sharply weaponized teeth.
Yeah, my mouth was growing some weird teeth. They
Okay,
were
I
good.
have an idea for a show.
Uh-huh.
It's like Kung Fu, or any movie about someone wandering around a lot, except it's about Jonathan Holmes as a young man with his weaponized teeth. And he's trying to be peaceful, but people keep coming at him and he keeps biting them.
Well, I did. They didn't.
Biting.
They shot out.
It's like
in
a
my mouth.
vampire.
Biting
story?
people.
It's just a
No,
guy who bites
He
people.
just bites people. He just bites. He doesn't want to bite them, but that's the only way he knows how to fight. He's the biter.
It works. You can infect people pretty bad with a human bite. That's the meanest thing to do to someone I can think of offhand, other than infect them with diarrhea disease, which I may have now.
What?
Ew.
Yeah, I may have diarrhea for a while, guys.
Why?
Because at my hospital, there is a guy who's been pooping his pants for like 2 weeks. And we're like, huh. That's no good. He's,
So you're doing it too to make him feel better?
What do you get, the sympathy shit?
That's so nice, Holmes. You're an
God,
angel.
you're really committed to your job.
I care about the guy. I told him for a while that,
Hey
you
there,
know.
it's nothing to be ashamed of. We all do it from time to. Oh!
Are you just like, hey man, if I hey, oh, no, hold on, I was almost did like a Brad Nicholson there for a second. That was weird. Oh, hey guys, hey bud, what if could you stop pooping your pants? Because it's gross. But I mean, hey, I got an idea. What if I did it instead of you, and then you wouldn't have to do it anymore, right? And then is that what it is? Are you just like?
Are you just trying to reason with his diarrhea?
Is this like transference of pooping?
I'm flattered.
Have you got like 6 people together, like 6 patients in your hospital, to reenact the frog chorus, but with shit instead of frogs?
Hey,
it's probably gonna happen.
Hey, Jonathan Holmes. Jonathan Holmes.
Uh-huh.
Are you like the man from the Green Mile, except instead of breathing out flies, you just poop your pants?
That's
Is
Michael.
that why they call you Coffee?
Only not spelled the same.
No, he's got a bad poop disease. Yeah.
So is this?
Wait, so he gave you the disease or something?
Probably. It's incredibly contagious.
Well, stop fucking him. That's how you get caught out when you start catching
It's that simple, Holmes.
Yeah.
Just get one of those dental dams, or at least a fruit roll-up.
Yeah. No,
Stop performing anilingus on your patients.
That's gross.
If I've told you once, is it a 3 strikes and you're out policy? It's like where you performed anilingus on 2 of them. One more. How many times can you perform anilingus on a patient before they fire you?
You can't do it. You can't even. One time I had a patient who was.
You've done it one time and that was enough.
No, you can't. You can't perform anilingus on.
Not at all. Not at all.
How do you know that?
Is there anything you can you wank them off? What if you get one of them?
What if they're hysterical?
You can't even hug them. You can't even hug the patient.
Hey, what if
Tarylon's got a point? What if one of them's like gone crazy hysterical, and you just got to pop his little fella in your mouth to calm him down? Just pop it.
That's what they used to do in the 1800s.
That is true. Little Russian mothers with their babies.
That's what the fainting couches before.
Is that what you would want someone to do to you guys if you were hysterical? Jim, you've been hysterical.
It would help.
I've got a question.
Certainly wouldn't complain.
Jonathan Holmes.
Max has got a question.
Jonathan Holmes.
Yes.
Okay, so what if? Well, okay, so let's say someone is just going haywire, and they're just going crazy, and you have to subdue them, and you put them in like the papoose or the 4-point restraints or whatever you use over there, and you get that. But what if while you're attaching the straps, you accidentally just make them rub one out with? And they
make them? How do you?
I mean,
make
like,
someone...
let's say you're putting on the 4-point restraints, and they're wiggling their leg everywhere.
They're into it.
What if they? I mean, maybe it's their first time. They're just like,
I don't understand the question. How do you make someone rub something with a restraint or something?
I'm just saying, what if you brushed up against them too hard, and then all of a sudden they just...
I reckon some of them have no self-control. Like, some of them, they're the ones that can't keep their fingers out their arseholes, all that kind of stuff, right? And obviously, like, they've not had any sex because, well, they're mentals. So, like, you brush while you're putting on their restraints, right? Or putting, filling their feed bag full of baby food, right? And you just, brush past their helmet through their pants, and they just come everywhere. And then the matron comes in, like Mrs. What's-her-face from Matilda comes in, and she sees you with the feed bag full of baby food, and this, just mewling, not mewling, gurning fool in a sailor suit. They all wear sailor suits.
Who does? What are we talking about? This is so fantasy.
I think we're talking about Sailor Moon. I lost track, though.
Track it down.
Jonathan, your special children.
You guys aren't that different from my patients, I mean, you talk about them like, oh, they're wearing helmets, and I mean...
I'm not saying they're wearing helmets. They wear sailor hats and lick giant, oversized lollipops.
To be fair, I am actually in the bathtub right now wearing a headset microphone and trying to shave my face.
I feel a little bit like a group of Trekkers is calling Trekkies nerds to me. Like you guys are
no, I'm not done
calling
crack.
Black.
I've not done crack. I win. Said the man who eats bags of Doritos by the armful. I've not got a problem.
I ate a Dorito once. I threw up. Too much.
What?
It was just too much.
What the fuck, Holmes?
That's all I'm gonna say about it.
What kind of Dorito was it?
Chippy. It's Chip brand.
Chippy.
Yeah, it's one of those corn
You
chips.
you eat chewy lemon heads. I almost bought chewy lemon heads so that I could eat them on.
Those
I
are
really
good.
love those. Yeah.
Jonathan.
Holmes
Yes.
had a sick obsession with those when he
I
lived
did.
in East Coast.
Every time I eat those, I think of you guys. Yeah. Well,
Right?
well,
Jonathan
yeah.
Holmes.
Oh, yes, sir. Uh-huh.
One of the homunculi have been wheeled in, okay? They're on a gurney. They've got no arms. And they have got a belter of an erection.
Okay.
Dilemma. They need relief. It would be inhumane not to toss them off. What are you gonna do? You're allowed gloves and a spit bucket. What are you gonna do?
What's a spit bucket? Is that like where people spit their chew and their
This is
chewing
important,
tobacco?
Holmes. You might get asked this question at an interview someday.
I love on this episode.
The police
Tara
might
Long's
ask you
been
this.
joining in.
Yeah.
Usually she doesn't. This is
charge.
awesome. This is like Girls Gone Wild, but with jokes about retards.
That's the subject matter.
Yeah.
Can't get
Speaking
enough.
of girls, I wanted to ask you guys. There's some moral outrage about.
There are some differences.
There's some. I started a series for the hell of it, and it's
Oh,
going
I was
alright,
gonna-
I guess. Yeah. And some people are mad about it a little bit. It's called talking to women about video games. Yeah, that's what
What?
it's called. I almost forgot what it was called.
What's it called?
I started a video series on what was it, yesterday? Called Talking to Women About Video Games, and some women,
Fucking scumbag.
some women
fucking goals.
have been really angry about it.
Do you
They-
kiss your mother with that mouth?
I can see why.
Tell me more.
Fucking cunt. Oh my
Are you talking to me?
Not you, Jim. No.
I
Tara.
look after my mum. And you fucking disrespect her and all other women. Oh, you make me sick. You fucking chauvinist pig.
Is that the Londoner?
Women died in World War II fighting at home to fight back the Hun. And you disrespect them with that filthy potty mouth. Oh my Christ. If my old grandma, who worked in the mine, could hear you now talking about women and all womankind like that, God save the Queen. Oh, fucking hell. This is a man's world, I will grant you. But Jackie Brown was right. It would be nothing without my dear old mama.
Jackie Brown from the Tarantino movie?
Jackie Brown, the one who went mental with a shotgun.
Ah, the shower curtain's dripping on me.
Ugh, I'm sorry, Max.
It was
I
scary.
don't want to think about you in
I'm
the
sorry,
bad.
Tara.
Shut up.
Don't
You
wanna
do.
think about it. But Tara was going to tell me that she can see why people may have been offended by the show.
Okay. I wasn't personally, disclaimer.
Okay.
But,
You'd have no right
I'm gonna-
to this episode.
I what?
You'd have no right to be offended after this episode.
No, probably not. I'm not offended easily,
Yeah.
thankfully. But I took the point of your video to be basically that gamers have the tendency to blow things way out of proportion, right? And that, they make a big deal out of things that aren't otherwise important to most people in the real world. Correct?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
That's
maybe
definitely-
you should explain the point of your video before I go into what I'm going to say.
Well, there's a lot of different things. I don't think these things out that clearly. I just kind of do them, and then if it doesn't totally make me feel miserable when I watch it later, I figure I'll just put it out there and see what people think. So I honestly didn't have a strong intention.
But why did you specifically choose women?
Well, I don't know. I think I know. I have to think about it later. I can figure it out.
It's so you can creep on them and call it work.
It's a thing that I'm really interested in general. Talking to video games about people that aren't interested in them. I have to do it.
Talking to video games about people that aren't... Are you sure you work at this hospital?
The script on me there, Jim. Youch. Talking to people about video games that don't like video games that much is something other than talking to you guys and talking to people on Destructoid. I don't know anyone that likes video games. Everyone hates them. Like,
Exactly, but you're using the words everyone now, whereas in the video you specifically point out women. So I can see why women might get kind of pissed off by you basically implying that all women aren't gamers.
Yeah, I'm with Terror on this. It's like, I mean, I see your intention. I see your intention, but as someone who has had many things he said taken out of context, I can often nowadays see where phrases are going. Apart from the hour and a bit that we record Podtoid, then I forget. But outside of that, I can see where certain phrases are going. And when I saw that title, talking to women about video games, I did think to myself, well, that's not going to go down well.
It went pretty well.
It seems like it did, though. It's got like almost 500 likes and maybe like 50 dislikes or something.
Oh, that's nice to say. Yeah, Andy
looks really good.
Yeah, no, people...
Oh, and I'm not saying it wouldn't go down well with, it would be universally hated. I just mean with that subset we're talking about that did...
I don't know why the fuck people are, like, offended by it.
Well, it shows to me... I mean... personally, it speaks to... And this happens to me a lot. I feel like we might actually be entering this part of our friendship. This happens to me with a lot of people after I've been friends with them a while. First, they're like, oh, he seems like a pretty nice guy. Then after a while, they're like, I think he secretly hates me, or is making fun of me, or is insulting me because...
Well, you, Sunday night, about Alien Resurrection on Twitter, telling me that I was basically... was it you said it was adorable that I was trying to like the least important film in history? And phrasing it like a nice compliment. I'm definitely at that stage, Jonathan Holmes.
Yeah, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying your enjoying of one of the least essential films of all time.
And that right there sounds like the words of a patronizing little shit.
Well, we push your buttons, Well, I would understand if you hated us.
I can understand if you called the video talking to women about video games, because talking to people about video games sounds dumb.
Well, here's the thing. People's own insecurities come out when you're somewhat vague. And only people, I got the sense, who are insecure about whether they're taken seriously as gamers because they're women, thought that that's what I was doing.
The thing is, I think what it is, the major problem, and this is, for all the offensive humor that I make, I always try, especially when I'm trying to be serious and make a point, is you've always got to avoid those sort of stereotypes, because even if the stereotypes are true, and a lot of them can be because that's why they're stereotypes, because they're familiar, true or not, it always becomes about the stereotype rather than whatever point you're trying to make. And I think the problem with that video is the title, whether it's true, whether it has a point or not, it runs the risk of obscuring the actual point of the video, because then everyone just focuses on that, and the focus there is that stereotype that girls don't play games. And
I think at the same time, I think that if you change the title, it's backing down, and I think that it's almost like, it's, how do I say this? It's grabbing their attention, and then the actual product is not an offensive thing. Like, if anything, it's a great way to drive traffic, and I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of about that if you want people to see something. If all they can focus on is the title of the fucking video, they're a bunch of idiots.
Well, the whole idea... Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I used to joke about how, my friend and I, we'd have whenever we had an awkward interaction with girls, we can talk to girls, but whenever after we talk to girls, we'd be like, I can talk to girls, and we'd do that for 15 minutes. We'd just be like, I can talk to girls. And it's it's the same. Reminds me of the same thing. It's just a very simple. What about Mark Wahlberg talks to animals? You ever seen that?
That's a good one.
It's funny. I don't know. For some reason, it makes me think about that. It's totally self-explanatory. And it's not making fun of women, it's making fun of gamer culture. So what the fuck is the problem?
I get that. I get that. And I'm not, like Tara, I'm not offended, because that would make me the worst hypocrite on earth. But I'm just talking about, I can see their point of view, and I can see what it looks like.
Oh, sure, me too.
The problem is what it looks like, because it looks like you're saying girls don't play games. And I know you don't think that, and I know that's not what the video says at all.
Yeah,
but
I think
it implies that that's what your message is going to be, and a lot of people are fucking reactionary, knee-jerk idiots. And by the same token, I get what Max is saying about not backing down. I'm built a career out of trying to not back down until Nick Chester sends me a message saying "fucking back down." I get that. I just think there's always going to be that risk when you do a title that's based in some sort of, or runs the risk of bringing up a stereotype, is it's going to end up obscuring the point.
Yeah. It's interesting to me.
I think you kind of need to sort of dispel the tension that it brings up, and just, I mean, if people get mad at the title,
well, they were mad not just at the title. They thought that I intentionally tried to make women look like they don't know anything about video games when I come up and aggressively start asking someone what they think of Nubageddon, which is a term I just made up over the weekend.
I think it's funny. If they thought that's great. Some people thought that Scary Movie 4 was a good movie. Some people watch those those bad things and think they're funny. Yeah, I don't know. The thing that my issue with it is I want to see you work on this more. I want you to find a woman who's, if anything, more outspoken and, if possible, just dumb. Because I think that's probably going to be funnier. Because then you get someone who's like trying to figure out what the fuck you're talking about, and you talking about shit that doesn't make any sense to begin with. That was your wife on the video, right?
I can't say.
Okay.
Can't say. Yeah, Tara doesn't know for sure. Tara thinks it is, though.
Tara has terrible eyesight. So the lady you had in the video, she was just kind of soft-spoken and relaxed, and you were like, "Oh boy, all right, okay, what do you think of Nubageddon? Oh my god, oh!"
Well,
and it's.
I think the subject matter would work better if you randomly approached people on the street instead of just because it was very obvious that that woman was standing there. I mean, it was staged.
That was
obviously.
part of the joke. Yeah,
At the same
exactly.
Time, sorry, Tara, go ahead.
No, that was pretty much what I had to say.
Oh.
If you did it in like the Jay Leno style, except without the terribleness.
Well, if I had
have you considered physically attacking them at the end?
The thing that makes me kind of sad about it is I've seen. I thought you pulled it off incredibly well. How you doing it. The whole,
Sorry, I was thinking about masturbation.
I mean, I've seen a lot of videos where people are like, let's take things that it becomes like a stupid kind of like elitist kind of gamer language thing where you talk to normal people about video games and they don't know how to react, and it's kind of like they don't really care how people. I mean, like, okay, when I worked on the IGN show, we did this thing that was we went to the San Mateo County Fair where they were having wiener dog races, like in a horse track, which is very stupid. But we were going to do a thing where we just went to different weird kind of sporting events and asked people, would this make a good video game? Does this work as a video game? We did another one that was a cardboard tube fight that people had in Golden Gate Park. And the thing is, if you ask people about, if you ask non-gamers, how does this relate to gaming? Do you think this would make a good video game? Tell us what you think of such and such. It's kind of just like, you're going to get a lot of people. It's like, it's asking people about a thing that they don't know about. It reminds me of, on I Love the 80s when they'd ask Henry Rollins about, Cabbage Patch Kids or glowworm dolls, and it's like, the guy was in mosh pits in the 80s. He wasn't paying attention to that. I'm more an expert on that than him. I don't care if he's if you're going to have someone commenting on something, then ask them about something they know about. Don't ask them to comment on something they're unfamiliar with. So, I mean, what I liked is that you put the humor on yourself. You were like, I think it's a really good idea to take gamer outrage, because we forget how stupid this stuff is. It's all very insular, and we have this kind of microcosm of very stupid gaming outrage. We're all mad about a second joystick. Now explain that to someone who does not keep track of this stuff, and then see how they'd react to it. I think you've got a really cool thing.
Yeah, that conversation wasn't rehearsed or anything. It was definitely her who I was going to talk to, but we didn't plan that out. I didn't tell her what I was going to ask her about. So
what are you going to do for the next video? Who are you going to talk to?
I think I'm going to talk to someone about Bayonetta and Lollipop Chainsaw.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be fun.
I once tried to explain Portal to my mom.
Uh-huh.
My mom hasn't ever played a video game. I don't think she's seen one since maybe like just glancing at something I was playing in 2002 or something. But she generally just kind of looks the other direction. And she's immediately turned off by first-person shooters because they put you behind the gun. I don't know how, explaining Portal to my mom. I'm like, so basically you've got this gun. And she's like, uh-huh. And I'm like, but it shoots portals. And she's like, what? And I'm like, but they're magic. Ah, fuck me. This is stupid. That's it's really hard to explain that to someone who's not familiar with it. But we all kind of take it for granted in these crazy...
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think...
I tell you how I explain video games to people that don't play games.
Yeah.
I do it the proper way. I look at them and I go... The human condition! Ooh! Video games! They're art! American Beauty! Oh! And then everyone thinks I'm clever because when you come home from PAX, that's all they're fucking doing at the airport. No one cares! No one's impressed that you mentioned braid again. The obligatory braid mention when talking about art in games. Ooh, he said braid. He's a clever gamer. Ooh.
I would love to see a video where Jim explains video games to normal people. Because that would just be...
I want you to bring that
tunnel of hell.
Jim had that character for a while. It was like Alistair. No, that's not it.
Armandio.
Yeah, I hope you bring him back.
There is a pilot video on YouTube that is not listed of a show called Virgilio Armandio's Art Hole, which I have been hoping to pitch to people, but I don't think anyone's interested, which annoys me because I think it's a good idea, but I guess the market doesn't. It's something I tried to sell to the Escapist, but they were more interested in the Jinquisition.
Sure.
So, that...
Well, if you just run it on Podtoid and it ends up getting views...
I'm thinking of. It's like,
can't hurt.
Yeah, I might do.
Sure.
I might do. I was pleased with it. But, yeah, I mean, he was obviously this spoof of art gamers who I think are just so funny.
They're cute.
Which started... And I'm not saying, because I think games are very artistic, but that's just a personal thing because I think art's a very personal thing. And no one has the right to tell you what is and isn't art because everything's art to someone. But those people that go out of their way to force it on everyone else, which I used to do, and then I was like, actually, who gives a fuck? It doesn't really matter what Roger Ebert thinks. He's going to be dead in about 2 weeks anyway. It doesn't really matter. So it's like, I don't... It's not that important, and then you got that guy, that's what started it, the guy from IGN who went on, was it CNN or something, to talk about why Metroid Prime is the Citizen Kane of gaming.
Did he go on CNN? He definitely wrote something
for... It was on TV. It was on TV. It was
that I did not
IGN.
know.
I don't know his name. Jesus!
It's one of those guys.
Fucking McCarthy?
Oh, man. Give me the list.
He had glasses, and he was like, he was talking about just the word the term Citizen Kane has become such a joke now because it's such a stupid demand.
I think you shamed people out of using it anymore. I haven't seen it used.
Well, I wouldn't take credit for that. I would love to take credit.
I like to take that whole mentality of it's the citizen. It's like the this of that. I like to be like either with Taco Bell foods or a similar thing from the same medium. So, for instance...
People do it. Like, whenever I live tweet one of the shitty films, it's always going to be, Batman and Robin is the Citizen Kane of film. It's like, it always comes up because it's been it is so easily spoofable, and if you're ever going to make an argument, don't do it with something that easily parodied, because you're not going to win. Your point will be swallowed by that.
What I said was that Anaconda is like the Bad Boys 2 of movies about snakes.
Yes, I remember that one. That was very nice. I tell you what, though, Microsoft is the Citizen Kane of fucking up my review copies. I want to get this done because I have a smile on my face while I'm talking now for the cameras, but I am so fucking angry.
When's it supposed to come? It's Gears you're talking about?
Gears of War 3. Everyone has their review copies. Nick Chester has the Epic Edition with a statue, which I wasn't even going to get anyway, even though I'm the reviewer. Go figure. Not that I mean, that makes me sound like a bitch. I'm just happy to be able to do my job. Or I would be, if I could. Everyone's got their copy of Gears of War 3, except for me. Supposed to be here yesterday at the time of recording on Monday. Embargo's up Thursday at midnight, and it's coming tomorrow because despite them already sending shit to this address, despite the fact they sent Fable 3 to this very house, they told me, they said, we've got you listed for 20 which was the old address before I moved here. And I'm like, no, that's an old address. In fact, you've sent stuff to my new address, so you should have this on record. Please send it to this address. And they went, okay.
Hey, Jim.
What?
I previewed Fable Coin Golf for Windows Phone 7.
Yeah.
And when I was doing that, they were like, "So, where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from Destructoid." And there's this kind of pause, and the guy's like, "You guys didn't really like Fable 3, did you?" And I was like,
Oh, you've told me this. You told me this, yeah. Fuck them.
They're probably sending shit to. Oh, there's Jim's house, and it's just a river, and they just throw things in there.
But anyway, right? They told me on Friday. They said, we've got you listed for this address, and I'm like, well, no, that's the old address, the one that you haven't sent stuff to in over a year, and you've already sent stuff to this new address. Please use the one in my signature. And Monday came. Everyone got their copies. I got my confirmation email. Nothing came. Sent them an email Monday night. Oh, I'm sorry! We sent this review copy to this address. I'm so sorry! I didn't mean to do it. Probably not the fault of the guy who sent me the apology email. So I did restrain myself from just sending back in all caps, "Oh, you're fucking sorry, are you, derp, derp, derp? You fucking retards piece of shit." I didn't do that. I was just like, well, I just did this kind of, like, I wanted to show them how angry I was, so I just kind of went, well, I did give them the new address. Oh, well, could you send me another one, please? And they said, we will send it to you. And so it's supposed to arrive tomorrow now, but I am so fucking livid. And the worst thing is, this Nintendo, the people that always fuck up my review copies, on this day, sent me a Kirby toy.
Oh,
fucking topsy-turvy world. No, it's not nice. That's Nintendo fucking with my brain. That's Nintendo trying to get. They did it? Yes, they're trying to get inside. Get out of my mind, Liquid. They're trying to fuck with my brain.
Jim,
because I've got a Kirby game now, and it's great.
Jim,
where's Mass Attack?
Yeah,
it looks really fun. Just review that. Forget about Gears. No one needs to read a Gears of War review.
I have a simple solution for you.
Yeah.
What you should do is the moment your review is finished and set to go live. No, the moment it goes live. The moment it is on the internet and people can read it, write them an email and say, "Excuse me, Microsoft, I'm still waiting for my copy. Could you please send it to me? Please. I've been waiting for it. Send it to this address." And then just see what they do. See if they do. Test their disorganization.
Yeah. In fact, no, I'm not even joking. I could probably get that done.
I dare you. I fucking dare you.
In fact, in future, I've considered just sending publishers, not just Microsoft, I don't want to single them out, just all publishers, just any address that isn't mine, because it would probably bump up the chances statistically of it getting to me. It's like, if you give them address, that's the one place it won't ever go. But Kirby Mass Attack's good. The best thing about Kirby Mass Attack is at the end of every level, when you win it, Kirby goes, "Nothing's right when you ain't here. I give all that I have just to keep you dear." Did you get that funny joke or not, Jonathan?
No, that was amazing, though. I believe you 100% until you told me it was a joke.
That was Kirby Massive Attack.
Oh, God.
Shut up, Max. That was good. I'd worked all day on that.
I was thinking you were going to do Kirby, Mass Effect.
No.
It's just the end of every level. He just goes, "I should go."
Sort of know about Mass Effect. It's hard to play.
It's not a funny game. It's not a funny game.
No.
Until you have sex with your secretary.
Maybe I should just paint myself pink and take a photo and write underneath Kirby Heart Attack.
That's mean to yourself, Jim.
Well, by the time I'm 35, it's going to be true.
Offensive.
I want you to live forever, Jim. I want you to live forever, Jim. Please live.
Let's to live forever.
I want you to. You should do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll get on that tomorrow.
Thanks.
I'll add that to the docket of things to do, like playing Gears of War for 12 hours straight because I've got to fucking beat it by midnight tomorrow.
Oh Jesus! And I'm right about it.
It won't take 12 hours to beat. The campaign will probably take me 6 if I'm quick. So
really. I haven't played through any of those games. I got bored with them immediately.
Well, they called it the longest campaign ever, so I'm guessing 6 hours.
Are they that short? Why do they do that? Can't they just make it longer?
It's all about the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I like it, though, because they've got this kind of... Gears of War to me is like Die Hard. I hate comparing games to movies, but sometimes it's apt. So it's like Die Hard in that kind of you just sit back and just watch a load of meaty bullshit happen at you. And I'm one of the few people that actually like Gears for its campaign and its story, just because it's that kind of just silly, over-the-top, audacious, 12-year-old centric kind of nonsense, which is good.
Holly Bennett loves it too. She reads like all the books and stuff.
So I'm looking forward to it just for the campaign, but they're not that long, and I don't think they need to be because they don't. It's not like Mass Effect. It's not like Final Fantasy. They haven't got a lot to tell you. It's just like here's Jake from Adventure Time. And here are some monsters, and you're gonna hear him going, "I'm gonna fucking chainsaw your ass." That's all you need. So
that doesn't sound that bad. I'd watch someone else play it. I probably would get bored playing it myself.
I like Gears. I know. Yeah. And obviously Max has got his thing, and it's not your kind of cup of tea, Jonathan. I don't know what do you think of the Gears?
It's not my cup of tea either. I've tried playing it before, and it's just like I really can't stand games that are on rails, basically, and that one may as well be to me.
Gears? Well, you do just kind of walk straight in the campaign.
Yeah, it totally leads you.
Yeah, but the thing is, so is Half-Life 2. That's always been my argument to that, like, a linear games on rails. It's like Half-Life 2 is just as much a corridor, go here, go there, do this, do that. But I think linearity in a game is very important to one that's sort of trying to tell you a certain thing. I respect linearity in a game a lot. Because it tells me that the people writing the game have something they want to convey. Because in a very open-ended sandbox, anyone can do anything thing. The story never really resonates. Even something like The Elder Scrolls. I'm never that invested in the story. I get invested in the atmosphere and the experience and the feeling of being an adventurer myself. But the story's always very light and
I had a kind of epiphany about that, actually. I realized that I'm really big on sandbox kind of open world games, and I think I figured out why. I think because it's sort of like a crutch to allow you to play pretend more effectively. When you're a kid, you can go in your backyard and have a stick and run around, and you can be like a sorcerer or a Jedi Knight. When you're older, when you're grown up and you have to worry about real things and what people think of you, and you're like self-conscious and, you have people expecting things of you, it's harder to just suspend that disbelief. And I think that's why I like video games.
You like LARPing through video games, kind of.
I mean, I don't even want to run around. I'm like tired. And I had a long day. I'm like, I don't want to go run around in my backyard.
You're virtual LARPing. Yeah.
That's the thing is like...
no, that is very important. It's important, an important part of escapism, and those open world experiences are fantastic for that. It's just speaking to someone who had always liked gaming but didn't really fall in love with it until he played Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid and that whole era of games that really pushed stories. It's like, that told me that games can be this superior narrative form. It's not there yet at all, but I'm always interested in games that want to tell me a story, and I think linearity is very important for that. There's a reason why we're still taught that stories traditionally, not all of them, but traditionally have a beginning, middle, end, because that's the best way to convey a story most of the time. And I think in games they need that beginning, middle, end if they've got a particular story and a particular vision that the developers want to show you. And there's nothing wrong with that, and we shouldn't be ashamed of that. Certainly that doesn't mean to imply that sandbox open world games aren't good. They're fucking fantastic. But linearity is also, it has its place. We've got this either-or attitude in games where it's like, oh, well, if you say linear games are great, you mean to say sandbox games are shit. It's like, no, they both have very important places, I think.
Hey, remember that one really good, like, open-world puzzle game that had a solid story? Because that doesn't exist. Because video games can do so many different things. Like, I mean, someone shot me this kid shot me an email just asking, pretty much interview. I think he sent you guys them to his Aaron about asking just about how game journalism works, and it got me thinking a lot about like you can't review a game on the same merits. Like you can't review all games on the same merits, and it's a very kind of nebulous sort of medium. It's incredibly open-ended. And I don't know. I think that we're going back to the whole, like, I've sort of been thinking about this in the bath for this time, about talking to people who aren't gamers. One thing that's really important when doing the things that we do, I think, is to really just keep one foot on the ground and not only be able to look at games in this sort of broad spectrum, but also see where they fall in just kind of the grand scheme of popular culture.
Oh, sure.
Holmes, you were talking about doing Constructoid a while ago and having advice for being a game journalist.
Oh yeah, I wanted to do that.
Yeah, and it's like if you want to be like an expert on video games, also be an expert on movies and books and music and history and art. Branch out.
Art theory in general.
No things.
History.
I feel like most people are though.
Most people are experts on art?
Well, no, most people who are into video games have other interests. It's just, we work at a video game blog, so we hear about one of them.
Right.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I honestly wish that, I wish that the Destructoid show would, I mean, this is a silly thing to say, but I think my dream is to be on, like, a pop culture, like a nerd culture show. Like, just to talk about nerd stuff, just in general, because
That's why he was bitching at the beginning of the show. He's just trying to turn Podtoid into this. Into his twisted, mutated, Silent Hill vision.
These twins and fucking things are terrible. I don't know.
I'm only writing you, mate. It's
say that
jokes, all good friends together.
For fuck's sake.
I'm sorry.
I enjoyed it. He meant well. He's being cute. He's being cute, Jim Sterling.
Sorry to
Jim Sterling is
little
cute.
scrubby clean Max.
Yeah,
Very
you're both
cold
cute
and
guys.
How pruny are you? How wrinkled are your balls right now?
Yeah, I heard you splashing around.
Well, but my fingers look like they're mummy fingers. They're gross. I was thinking about. I basically am Leonardo DiCaprio in What's Eating Gilbert Grape right now. Just freezing cold in the bath, and I don't know who to call for help.
It's a cold bath?
Awful. I've been sitting in it for a while. It's not that cold. It's actually quite nice. But
lukewarm's good.
What was I going to say?
My bath's hot.
I've been reading Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut, which is fantastic.
That's one of my favorite books.
It's a fucking incredible book.
You recommended that to my wife, didn't you?
Yeah, everyone should read this book. If everyone read this fucking book, we'd have a much nicer world that we live in, I think, honestly.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's a good book.
If more people read it and actually paid attention to what the fuck it's about. Like,
what's it about again?
It's about a lot of shit, about the end of the world. But it talks about, like, in the book, there's this religion called Bakunanism, which is, like, the most fucking reasonable shit I've ever read.
Bakuganism.
Yeah,
Bakugan.
Bakunan.
It predates Bakugan?
No, it doesn't. Yes, it does.
There's no G.
I didn't know anything came before Bakugan.
The great measure of time. BB before Bakugan.
I could talk about something seriously for about a minute and a half, and then I just immediately just drop off and say something retarded.
That's how the show works.
Yeah,
sometimes I get 2 words into a sentence before Jonathan Holmes, show me a cock.
That's disgusting.
Terrifying. Don't say that.
Yeah, I'll be 2 words into a sentence.
Really inappropriate.
Sound like a fucking pervert, Holmes.
I'm really sorry, guys. Did you know that Gary Glitter wrote "Do You Want to Touch Me There" to later be sang by Joan Jett?
Let's not make fun of Gary Glitter, yeah? National
Gary Glitter's
Okay, I'm
incredible.
sorry.
Gary Glitter is a fine musician and a national
God, I love
treasure. I won't
He
hear a
really
word said
did-
against him.
He really did write that song, though. Okay, I'm sorry. What were we talking about? We're talking about Cat's Cradle and Bakuganism.
Bakugan.
Bakuganism.
Bakuganon.
And what's that religion?
I don't know. It just got me thinking. I started reading it actually. I ordered it online and it was sitting around my house. But I read it ages ago. And then I was on Twitter and I was exhausted from our ridiculous Dead Island sleepover. And then I started seeing all the like 9/11 tweets about like never forget and all that. And I kind of got that irate girlfriend on Valentine's Day who's like, why do you have to have one day of the year to say you love me? It's like why? I mean, obviously 9/11 was a very big thing that was crappy and it sucked. And you shouldn't forget those people. But, America's still at war in two places. And frankly, it doesn't matter what country you're from. It kind of sucks when people die for no good reason. So how about like instead of just never forgetting for one day, how about kind of having a more conscious view for the other 364 days and maybe just in your daily life, try not to be a prick and maybe be nice to other people. And if they're jerks to you, don't like try and like blow up their buildings or anything.
You're going to be a great dad.
That's touching, Max.
I look forward to you being a papa.
That is a very stirring speech. I think if you were president and you stood up and just said, now come on, guys, don't fly planes into buildings, yeah?
I don't know. It's just like I was just the whole concept of borders and boundaries is kind of a weird thing. It kind of feels like citizens, human beings, like who interact with each other over the fucking World Wide Web. We're all sort of like, we don't all get along, but we all kind of relate to each other in different ways. And it doesn't really matter what country you're from, because no one's like, oh, you're from a different country than me? Well, fuck you. I mean, some people are, but I don't talk to those people. What I do find interesting is it's like the governments don't get along so hot, and it's sort of like
how did we
that
get on this topic?
I don't know. I wanted
He's
to
intense.
say something. I'm in the bath. I'm thinking, man. I'm deep.
Yeah. It's getting deep on you.
It's like
I
that
actually do my
episode-
best thinking in the shower.
This is
so
the
I
kind of
can
conversation that happens at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
understand. When we're all wasted.
I've been sleeping bad lately. I don't fucking.
I get it. It's like you shouldn't be a cunt.
Yeah, don't be a prick.
Don't be a cunt.
It's really pretty simple.
I mean,
well,
and rather than spend all your time on Facebook and Twitter competing with each other over who can pretend to feel sorry for America more or from one day of the year while treating 9/11 like a glorified holiday for grief pornographers, just don't be a cunt.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You know.
Have you
I
guys
think-
noticed that Destructoid is currently being sponsored by Supernatural, the hit series about demon hunters?
My wife likes that show. She wants me to like it too.
Are you serious?
It's not that
It
bad.
looks a
It's
bad Twilight knockoff.
It's not really Twilight. It's like
I realize they are sponsoring our website.
have
it's
you
like
read?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but for people that are slightly older.
I think it's better than Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Have you seen? The Tick, the old comic, and it was also a TV show.
Yeah.
It's co-produced by the creator of the Tick, and it's got some Tick-like comedy in there sometimes.
I
mean,
generally
that's-
don't trust anything that's on WB these days.
I thought it was the
That's-
CW.
It's the CW. It's
What the
worse.
fuck does that
Still
stand
says
for?
WB on.
Like Corn World.
Because I remember when the WB got rolled out in like the early '90s, and they had that fucking singing frog.
Oh yeah.
I remember
was
that.
just-
That was
I was
cute.
just like, I was like,
kinda
Mom,
liked it.
Mom, we have to watch this show. It has a singing frog, and she's like, that's like a new channel. I don't, and probably not. And I was like, oh, okay. And then
Back
they
when you
didn't
were
have-
watching Seventh Heaven, that was
I
like the
did-
big show back then.
This was all back then. Yeah, but Supernatural's not that bad.
I
Give it
saw
a
a
try.
few episodes. It's okay. It's not.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not exactly. It's not the kind of thing that I would take time out of my day to watch because that's less time spent watching Alien Resurrection. But it's okay. It's watchable. My wife
They
made
should put
me
that quote on the commercial.
not quite Alien Resurrection, but watchable. My wife made me watch Sophie's Choice for the first time. Well, and wouldn't let me joke about it.
Oh, of course not.
So that was a tragedy. That's the worst thing to ever spawn from the Holocaust is me not being allowed to make jokes about Sophie's Choice.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight? Sophie's Choice or Schindler's List?
Whoa. the choice, like the metaphorical idea of a choice versus the physical list.
No, I don't know if they were like names of vehicles. If they had a race,
if they were horses or if they were boxers.
Yeah.
You know what they should have called Sophie's choice?
What's that?
They should have called it "Sit and be bored for 2 hours until you finally fucking see the bit that you wanted to see that was spoiled for you years ago."
What's the bit? I haven't seen it yet.
The choice.
It's about a choice.
The titular choice that she makes.
Oh.
Yeah. I pitched Sophie's Royce, where she has to choose which of her 2 luxury cars are killed by Nazis.
Oh god, I remember my mom watching that when I was a kid, and I was like, this is boring. I have Legos in the other room if you're interested. And she's like, no, go play with your Legos. I'm gonna watch my movie. And I was like, fine. And I came in at the end of the movie, and she was like all crying, and she's like, I hope no one ever takes you away from me. And I was like, Mom, fuck you, leave me alone.
I don't know, like, it's supposed to be framed as a really sad bit, that the whole choice bit. But did you hear the set of lungs on that fucking kid? I'd be glad to get rid of it!
Yeah, maternal instinct is required for true appreciation of the sentence. Not to say you don't have you have paternal instinct. You're a good papa.
Matilda. Are we talking about the evil teacher from Matilda again or not?
That movie makes me cry. That movie's fucking like shit. Danny
Matilda
DeVito directed that. Danny DeVito directed that motherfucking movie.
Yeah,
Does that little girl still act?
What is her name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she was like super popular, and like she was in Mrs. Doubtfire or something, right?
Yeah, she was alright.
What is her name? I totally.
Mrs. Punctus.
Impa.
The Trunchbull.
The Trunchbull.
Oh, Mara Wilson.
Bruce Bogtrotter. Bruce Bogtrotter has to eat chocolate cake, or he's gonna fucking die.
Was that a new movie you just made up?
No, it's a part
like Crank.
Matilda.
Yeah,
oh, really? I forgot about that part.
That'd be a cool.
By the way, I'm a little annoyed with Max Scoville.
Oh no!
Who has been a bit of a dark horse because he's not told us this before. Before he went to work on the Destructoid show, he was the page master.
Yeah.
Now, I never knew this.
That's why I don't read anymore.
Yeah, like, I mean, I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but, like, was the purple book, right?
Yes, it was.
Because
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go, yes, your suspicions are correct.
I took one look at her and I thought, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you child star Macaulay Culkin?
No, that was actually, they added that in post.
Right.
It's just a filter they used to drop in.
No,
it was like
Macaulay Culkin, for those not in the business, they don't know this. Macaulay Culkin is actually played by a luck dragon who like does all the movements and the motion capture, and then they superimpose a boy over his image, and it is actually a luck dragon. I was going to say the luck dragon from Neverending Story, but I can't remember his name, so I just unfunnily vague. Falcor. That's
Falcor.
There's
I knew a girl who looked just like him. Yeah.
I knew. Okay, you guys want to have your lives ruined for you?
Yeah,
of course I do.
You know who Lizzie Kaplan is?
No.
She played the goth chick in Mean Girls, and then she went on to be in I think she's in Party Down, and
she's in a lot of stuff.
She's in True Blood in the first season. She's really, really hot. But then you realize she looks like Nicolas Cage, and it just fucking kills it. Like, seriously, if you look at a picture of her, you're like, wow, she's all right. And then you look at a picture of her and think Nicolas Cage, and it sucks. And I'm like, honestly, at that point in my life where I don't know if Lizzie Kaplan called me up and said, hey, Max, it's Lizzie Kaplan. Do you want to go on a date with me? I'd be like, what are we doing? And she'd be like, we're going to go see Con Air. I'd be like, nope, sorry.
She also coincidentally in one of her pictures looks like Macaulay Culkin. Is that what you brought that up?
No, I was just thinking about.
If you Google her name, the second picture of her looks exactly like him.
So another thing is
haircut.
There's a picture of Kesha where she looks exactly like John Travolta.
She's the dancer.
She's a singer. Sort of, kind of.
I love how out of touch Jonathan. I mean, I'm not in touch with pop culture, but Jonathan Holmes takes it to a whole new level.
Right. If you look up Kesha, John Travolta on Google Images, you'll find a great side-by-side photo, which is just upsetting. I want to see a remake of Face Off starring Lizzie Kaplan and Kesha. But
oh
they're
my
just
god,
like,
she does look just like him. That's so creepy.
Nice.
Like a good-looking young Stand Alive Travolta, because he's a fine-looking woman.
no, like
then.
modern
Like
day,
she's got the
like,
same smile.
Phenomenon,
Like
Travolta.
John Travolta in that remake of Hairspray.
Like Michael.
I love that remake. He was the best character in that
It's
movie.
pretty good.
Oh yeah, he was good. He played Divine.
He's talented for a mentalist.
Is that mentalist? That's someone who can like work stuff out.
No, I'm using the British slang version.
Oh, I need to learn. Bone up
What, you
on
mean
it.
like Darren Brown or something? Like what?
No, I'm using the British slang version, Max Scoville.
Are you talking about like one of those mind freaks like Chris Angel?
No, I'm using the British slang version, Max Scoville.
You guys want to tell me
I'm
more
starting
about
to sound like one of Jonathan Holmes' patients.
Let's answer questions.
No, they're not.
Can we do some questions then, yeah?
I guess it's just questions time.
Let's do it.
Do you have any thoughts though on the big 3DS event that happened last?
I don't want to talk about the 3DS ever again.
Fuck it.
There was a big event last night.
Oh,
I
God.
want
Dynasty Warriors.
No,
Jim.
there was an event last night.
It was big. Dynasty Warriors.
No, there was a sequence of occurrences.
Dynasty Warriors. There's
They unveiled a
Dynasty
pink 3DS.
Pink nub.
So it can look even more like a giant cunt.
So you can buy it. It seriously, they're just guessing. They're just
3DS
guessing.
does not look like a vagina.
Why would that look more like a vagina instead of a chode?
Yeah, he just wanted to feel the way he did.
I just
and
wanted
express
to
the
say
feelings.
cunt.
I know.
Yeah, you did. You expressed the feeling.
It doesn't matter.
God, it's such a bad thing. They're just guessing. They're seriously just like
3DS?
Yeah, it's like watching somebody like fuck up on a test or something. You know, they're just just Nintendo's decisions. They're like, oh yeah. So like, here's the thing you get, the little extra nubbin, and they're like, okay.
Oh, you're talking about Nubbageddon? Do you think it's the end of Nintendo too?
No, I don't think it's not just Nubbageddon. It's Nubbageddon followed by the announcement of the metallic rose DSi XL for the same price as the 3DS. And then immediately after that, they announce a pink 3DS. And then they announce that the fucking nub thing has to take batteries.
Yeah, that nub
It's
thing's
like they're
funny.
seriously just guessing.
I've been told a brilliant joke on Twitter. I can't remember who said it, but he was like, cheer up, Jim. At least with the peripheral needing batteries, that's going to be one AAA experience on the 3DS. Oh!
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty decent. But it's not just the nub. That's it. I mean, Holmes, you're kind of boiling it down to just this peripheral, which I think we briefly mentioned last week. But the 3DS is finally getting finished in the near future with a second analog stick that's going to be plugged in and needs its own battery. It's that at the end of everything else, of the shitty eShop, of Urban Champion 3 fucking D, of fucking. Shut up. Of the 3DS releasing a month early to keep investors happy, but ironically costing investors lots of money because it fucked up. Just this endless cavalcade of humour, because it's such a funny joke at this stage, that by the time the nub came out, it was just like, really? Really?
If someone did a mod to make the second nub, I would be unimpressed with it if it looked like if someone in their basement was like, hey, I made this thing, you can stick it on here and it acts as a second nub. I would be like a little bit underwhelmed from a homemade perspective.
Yeah.
The fact that it's coming from Nintendo, I just don't get it. I'll
tell you what. Let's introduce Iwata to some of the people Jonathan Holmes works with, and I bet he'd come out with some better ideas than he went in with.
Yeah.
But the games look good last night. That's all I...
For fuck's sake.
No,
The games look pretty good.
If your idea of a good game is a bunch of coloured logos that they showed over and over.
Come on.
Oh, hey look, Jonathan, I'm not knocking it. They were some of the best fucking game logos I've ever seen in my fucking life, mate. But, you know...
I thought Monster Hunter looked great. I like Monster Hunter, though, so...
Yeah, the thing about Monster Hunter is I play it. I want to play every single Monster Hunter that comes out, then 5 minutes into the game I remember, oh yeah, Monster Hunter's fucking shit.
It's different. It's different than what you like.
So is stabbing my dick with a rusty syringe.
A lot of people say they want Monster Hunter to get more like other games, but I wouldn't play it if it was.
Monster
I like it just the way it is. It's a
Monster
special little game.
Hunter, Monster Hunter.
Oh man.
5 second guacamole and the
5
magic bullet. That's some pop culture humor for you. Let's do some
I
questions.
think I knew that one. Hey, what do you think of that video about the woman who wants to hug cats?
Oh, no.
That's
Fake.
No.
Troll.
We're not
too
doing
much.
this. Let's do some questions, please.
What are we not doing?
Let's get it. Okay?
Let's get it.
Calm,
moving
Sure.
too fast.
Calm.
Moving too fast.
calm down. Let's all slow down. Smoke from a hookah. Calm down.
Yeah, we need
Zaka
to get Irie.
Yeah. Zaka says, where's that there Resistance 3 review? I'm so fucking sick of people asking me about the Resistance 3. This happens now and then because we are Destructoid and we're not IGN. We don't get access to things super early. Sometimes things happen. Nick Chester is on the Resistance 3 review. It should have gone up today. I don't think it did, but it will come up this week. Guarantee it. He wanted to try the online because he didn't have access to an online session unlike some other places. So he's played it, he's played the online, he's beat the game, it's going to be coming soon. I'm sorry, this happens like it happened with Dragon Age as well. Sometimes a review just hits at the wrong time. So that's what's happening. There you go.
That's nice that they want it, though. I mean, they could have just read someone else's review and ignored us, but they want our review because they think we're
No, I
important.
totally fucking love it. It overwhelms me that people are like desperate to see our reviews. I absolutely love that. But at the same time, please don't post in every single comment thread basically accusing us of being lazy. It's like when we do a story or we review another game, don't go, well, where's the Resistance 3 review, as if we've deliberately thrown Resistance 3 in the trash to review something else.
It's
like-
pretty funny that
we
they
had
might
somebody
think
asking
that.
why we didn't cover, like, on our Dead Island review spectacular, we had a question, why didn't we cover Resistance 3?
Well, they think you're
because-
I
biased.
think they meant
They're looking
instead.
for evidence of bias there. It's like, sorry, some of these things we pick by how many people are interested in it. Resistance 3 isn't even that big a series. Even by PS3 standards, Killzone, Uncharted, Infamous, they're all bigger. And we're not deliberately ignoring it. It's like Jonathan Holmes has done quite a few reviews this week. I've done a load of reviews. Neither of us are reviewing Resistance 3. That's all Nick. And I'm not... That sounds like I'm just blaming him. It's Nick's fucking fault, lazy cunt. Nick is an incredibly busy man, and he's actually got a lot of shit on his plate right now, so...
Andy wanted to play the online because reviewing it without online, yeah.
I'd rather us have a complete review than a rushed one to hit embargoes. So
Sure.
there you go.
I do think Resistance is symbolic of the PS3's exclusives, though, and like valuing the PS3 as a console because it was the first big exclusive. It means a lot to people in this weird way.
Yeah, but either way, it is coming. We are not implying disrespect to it. The fact that I reviewed Hard Reset this week does not mean we prefer Hard Reset to Resistance 3. It's that I was reviewing that. It's my full-time job to review games. Nick is our editor-in-chief. He got the copy of Resistance 3. I'd have had to come out and fucking buy it or something, which I was prepared to do, but Nick is getting that done, so... Get that.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
Fuck that
Indeed.
question. Jesus Christ, fuck that question.
Ace Flibble says, to all, who is your favourite person in the industry who is not from Destructoid?
I like Tim Schafer. He seems cool. And
Do they mean the video game industry or the video game journalism's
I
industry?
think they mean all of it.
Oh, well, that's easy.
I was
could
just
think of
going
tons of
everybody.
people. Yeah, I thought he took it as journalism's. That's how I took it anyway. But yeah, go with everybody. Don't worry about me.
Oh, I was just gonna say everybody.
Yeah, say everybody. Say it.
Phil Fish is really cool. You know him, Holmes.
Yeah, we met a couple of times, or at least once. Yeah, he's a neat guy. He's got a beard.
Oh, not anymore.
Oh, he shaved his beard. That's right. He's got the mutton chop still?
No.
Yep.
Really?
No?
Yep.
We're gonna have to call him on this.
We should probably look into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send
Have
it
the
direct.
mutton chops been finished yet? Will the mutton chops be there soon?
I like that Shannon from Nintendo. You remember her?
Yeah, you do.
She's neat. I think she's dating Tommy from Team Meat now, who once had a big crush on Tara. He was like, fix me up with Tara, and I'm like, not gonna happen, dude. But why don't you talk to Shannon? I fixed him up on Twitter, and now I think they're in love.
Are you serious?
Really?
I kid you not. I think it's love.
Hell,
I
you
told them
magic,
that they need to name their first dog after me.
you magic fucking bastard.
I like love. I like helping people.
Who do I like? Who do I have a crush on the most?
Yeah.
I really love Adam Kovic from Machinima, and he hosts Inside Gaming.
Yeah.
He's a fucking sweetheart. It's so funny because I think people sometimes get the illusion that we don't like other people in the industry, or like are there other people from different competing sites, like we don't get along, but that's bullshit. Like me and Greg Miller go way back from IGN. We fight with each other on Twitter, but we love each other. It's all out of love. As far as like video game people go, the Fruit Ninja guys are really cool. They're all, or the Half Brick guys, they're all really nice.
Oh yeah, the Australian guys.
Bunch of lovely Australians. We had this Nick and Hamza and I all had this lovely lunch with them where we all ordered the exact same thing. We all had grilled cheese sandwiches and Hefeweizens, and it was like 10 dudes sitting around this table all eating grilled cheese sandwiches. It was awesome. The Twisted Pixel guys, Mike Wilford and Josh Bear, are some wonderfully nice guys. I've known them since I started Destructoid, pretty much. And their music.
Did you do that
Jake
live stream with them? Was that you?
The Comic Jumper playthrough thing.
Yeah.
I was sitting there trying not to laugh the whole time. It was great.
Yeah, that was great.
But it's cool because I see them. Brian Provinciano, we all like him. He's nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's
the Retro City Rampage guy. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? I don't know. Yeah, I've got a lot of buddies at IGN who I see around, and I'm like, hello there, and they're like, hi, and that's that. But
it sounds like good buddies.
Yeah, they're great. They're great people.
Your friendship consists of going hello there, and they say hi, and then
we're really awkward about it because we're enemies, but we're friends. Secret frenemies. No, we're not.
Isn't there room for everyone? There's room for everyone.
I don't know.
No, definitely not.
There's not room for everyone?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Some people must be destroyed.
I didn't know
Lisa
that.
Foyles from The Escapist must be destroyed.
Yeah, you don't get along with her very well, I noticed.
Not like her at all. She's not a fun person to be around.
Who?
You're lying.
Foyles.
Cool. It's really nice. Yeah, you guys are friends, yeah.
I don't know. You say some, guys.
You named a lot. Max Schofield.
Ben Kuchera wants to punch me in the throat, I think. And Lee Alexander does not like me that much.
Lee Alexander?
Smart people don't like me.
Well, if you
know... Lee Alexander!
She used to work for Destructoid.
Wow.
She used to write Grand Theft Auto fan fiction for Destructoid.
Ben Kuchera I actually do really like. Get along with him really well. I seem to get along with people that hate Max.
Yeah,
like,
probably true.
Cliff Blazinski as well, like, met him, he says he likes my stuff, we got along really well, and it's like, I think it's just people that hate Max gravitate towards... It's probably like, in a few years' time, there'll be people who, are on Max's side, and it'll be Team Max and Team Jim, like Twilight. But I do like Cliffy B. I think he's a nice, outspoken guy. I don't always agree with everything he says, but he's a nice guy. But on the writing side, we've got Ben Kuchera, who I get on with a lot. Mitch Dyer, who is just a fucking great guy. He actually helped me with a lot of my freelance stuff. Susan Arendt from The Escapist is one of the nicest writers in the industry, in an industry that doesn't always have nice people in it. So she is very welcome. A lot of the Games Radar guys, Brett Elston, who's actually gone to Capcom now, and Chris, just all those people there, they're great guys. On the industry side, I'd probably have to go Fabian.
From Sega?
Fabian from Sega,
Yeah.
Sega Europe.
That's a cool guy.
In fact, a lot of the people at Sega, Kelly, Sue, Julian, Aaron, just a whole bunch of very good guys, and obviously I'm quite known for my sort of enmity with them, but it is all in good fun, all in good jest. And then obviously they were all there. That was everyone who took part in the dance-off that we did at the Destructoid Live, which I'm still working on getting posted. Great fucking guys. So, and they actually send me the review copies, unlike Microsoft. So, That said, I do like Aaron Greenberg from Microsoft as well. He is a very nice guy, and who's not afraid to like just chat shit and just throw shit, which I think is good. But then on the Sony side, there is Jeff Rubenstein, and I will have to just throw out a mention for Ray Gutierrez as well, who was formerly Destructoid and is now over there.
Still doing Sony, right? I haven't kept up with Ray lately.
Still with the old Sony, yes. Well, he's branded, isn't he? He's got those fucking Sony tattoos up and down his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all guys you described, except for one.
Yeah.
It's pretty male
the
male
fucking
focused
Volition
industry.
guys are all really nice. Jeff
Oh,
Hanna's
was that third Saints Row there?
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah,
and
they seem
the
like good
THQ PR guy, Neil Pabon's really he's a nice man. He's cool. Didn't he send you Warhammer guys, Jim?
Oh, fuck! I feel like a dick. I really should mention both Neil and Dakota from THQ. Great guys. Dakota never used to work at THQ. He used to be on the writing side, but I'd always see him at events, and he was always very friendly and talkative, and I got on a lot with him, and he's fucking hot as well, so just...
He's a sexy guy?
Has to be said. Very good-looking man. So, yeah, both him and Neil especially for sending me Warhammer things, and he's responsible for, like, really getting me back into Warhammer 40k as a tabletop game, not just as a... what do you mean,
That's not a nice thing for someone to do.
Sorry, Prince Maximilian.
That's like making you relapse. That's terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I was ever addicted. I was always just interested, but way too poor. So
have 6 tiny little things, but you're gonna want more of those little tiny things. You'll buy slightly larger ones for $50 and big, huge ones for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, it's not a cheap hobby.
It is not a cheap hobby, but I can afford it now. That's the thing. It's like,
oh yeah, you're rich now.
It's like, I almost feel like I owe it to my poorer former self to get some of the stuff. But I'm torn. I don't know whether to do Thousand Sons, Word Bearers, or Alpha Legion. So if anyone wants to help me out with that, because
I have a story, an announcement thing. Sorry, were you talking about Alpha Legions?
No, go for it.
You have
I know
a story?
what you mean about owing things to your former self, and I've actually Sideshow Toys, who makes like those fancy ass premium like 12-inch Star Wars figures and stuff. They finally announced a really nice Boba Fett that they're making, and it goes up for pre-order on fucking Friday at 10 a.m. And I've set 3 alarms to wake up and go and like pre-order it. Like, I want that fucking action figure. I've wanted it for like 5 years, and it's like it just got announced at Comic-Con. I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm getting this fucking toy. It's getting the last fucking Boba Fett thing I ever buy.
What's the damage on it?
They haven't announced the price point yet. I'm guessing it's probably going to be like if it's more than 150, I'm going to have to like go like. But I'll call that like an early birthday present.
Yeah, still do it anyway. Just
you'll be okay.
So long as you make the hiss noise, you're allowed to buy whatever you want. That's the rule.
That's like a jammer for bank accounts. Like, you can't overdraft your bank account if you're going while you buy something.
Exactly.
What do you want to die with money? It's fine. You'll just die poor. No big deal.
Aren't Sideshow doing that Mask as well? They're doing like based on the movie version of the Mask. Isn't that Sideshow?
There's
really
Mask
good.
and the Mask.
Well, the Mask.
Is that
Mask
the green
was
one
disturbing.
Trekker's gonna lead the mission.
Oh,
Silas got such supervision. Mask.
All right.
That was great.
So do we have any other questions?
Oh, we got loads, mate.
Oh, fuck me.
I didn't even really. I said one person I like in the industry. Wah.
Who do you like? Who do you like,
I
Holmes?
like Seth Killian. Is a neat dude.
Oh,
He gets drunk.
Marry him.
The one time I met Seth Killian, he had his thumb in a cast, and I was like, "So you're good at Street Fighter, eh?" His thumb, and I was just like, "What did you do?"
Yeah, he's very good at Street Fighter
combo.
Yeah, he's to me, Capcom is one of the most transformed companies of the past 20 years. Their American division used to be people who seemed to actually hate Capcom games and would go out of their way to make them look awful, like the Mega Man 1 box art shows as an example. But now it's all guys who grew up loving Capcom 20 years ago, and now they're in their 30s and 20s and 30s and can make the company what they always wanted it to be when they were younger. And I think they're really pulling it off. In general, I really like all the guys over there a lot.
Okay.
And I could say more, but I don't want to take up the time.
We gotta get. Yeah, I want to be done by 5:30. We gotta try and be more strict. So, Static Jack.
Sorry.
This one's
Let's do it.
Okay, well stop. Max, this one's more for me and Max, really. But you're welcome to join in.
Thanks.
Static Jack, don't mention it, friend. Static Jack says, "What would make for a decent Alien Colonial Marines multiplayer mode or features if it has multiplayer?"
The knife game.
That's fucking great. Yes, the knife thing. He said he'd like to play as a face hugger and face rape people, and then claw out as a chest burster, that sounds pretty cool. I just want Left 4 Dead with aliens. I just want Left 4 Dead with xenomorphs, and we can have people, special xenomorphs for the special infected, like get the dog/ox alien, instead of a tank, have a queen, take a bit of artistic license and have, like, instead of the Chargers, like, say, the Rhino-y type alien that they've got in Colonial Marines, just these different sort of hybrid types.
Can you imagine how exciting it would be to play as a queen alien?
It would be fucking, it would be my dream come true.
Yeah. Like, driving a power loader is exciting, but playing as a queen alien is like one of those things you don't think about that.
Yeah.
Like that's.
If someone gave me the choice of you can resurrect everyone who's died in the Iraq War, and the ability to play a queen, I would obviously go with the Iraq War.
Jim, Jim, you've always been a queen at heart. We know this.
Shoopity doop. Shoopity doop.
Because you're a homosexual.
Gay, everybody! I take it up the arse! I'd like to apologise to any of our gay listeners. I do not think that's what you're like. That's just what I would be like if I was a fully fledged urban queen of the night.
I don't know. Don't you think it would be? That was good. I always feel like these things are really fun in concept, but aren't necessarily great in execution. I think it would be really fun to play as a queen for a little while, but unless you
then you'd go back to playing the Castlevania fighting game on the Wii.
Oh, Jim, don't discredit my pick because I've almost
I'm only joking. People do that to me all the time with Dynasty Warriors. It's like,
yeah. But you know what I mean? If you play as a really powerful character, which is why you'd want to play as the queen, because it can just kill everything, then your difficulty scaling's all off. And then if you can fight things that are actually challenged, it's like, what?
But no, it would be like
you do it like a
special treat. It would be like getting the Redeemer in Unreal Tournament. Like it would be this thing that you could only use for a little bit.
Yeah, I think if there was like a really short mode where you could just...
It'd be like summoning the helicopter on a kill streak in Call of Duty, or like being the tank in Left 4 Dead, where you've got like a limited time where you just, as Max says, like a treat. Like I wouldn't like to play a queen all the time, but just this moment when you achieve something in a multiplayer mode and then you are rewarded, you are the queen, and you can rip yourself off the egg sack and just start kicking everything.
That would be good. I agree 100% on that.
Velothus is getting Dynasty Warriors games now based on my stuff, so good on him.
It's weird that those games are such scapegoats. I mean, there's nothing bad about the way they're crafted at all, and if you like that genre,
I don't think
that's the one to go to.
If you like the genre of Dynasty Warriors, you'd probably enjoy the Dynasty Warriors game.
The thing is, it's a pure hack and slash. It's like Serious Sam is to shooters. It's very much like an adaptation of Golden Axe and Streets of Rage and that type of thing. In fact, it's deeper than those games, and people love those games, so fuck you. Jonathan Holmes, Team Holt wants to know if coming home from work to do Podtoid feels like a second shift.
Oh, yeah. It's much more... because the people I talk to at my job are often trying to lead me to believe that they don't have a mental illness. But then when I get home, I'm like, hey, guys, and there's no shame.
We're just unabashed.
Yeah, everything you got. But the whole thing is I like people who are honest and are true to who they are. And that's often what you get with people who suffer from severe mental illnesses, because they simply don't have the extra frontal lobe capacity to manufacture any sort of mask or artificial pretense. So yeah, it's great. You guys are great.
Nice. Pen Kaizen seems very angry. He just said, "Do a movie commentary for Bloodsport. Fuck's sake."
I don't know. Maybe. There's like a lot of better movies we could do commentaries for, I think.
I want to do Gem. Man, Gem is so good. Can't stop watching that Gem. It's like the only show I really like. That and Adventure Time.
Okay, gotta find questions. Just loading the second page, guys. God, we're gonna do this, yeah?
Sure.
I've had
Stop talking.
quite a few people reminding me to make sure this one's recording. Thanks for that, guys. I'll get on that. Lots of ethnicity things. Oh God.
What's your ethnicity, Jim?
That's actually one of the questions. Is Jonathan Holmes, what is Jim Sterling's ethnicity? I am a Hutt. Ha ha fat.
Oh.
Star Wars.
Oh.
Oh, Star Wars. Us great Star Wars fans together, right? Oh, God. Some of these are shit. Sorry, listeners, but God, put some effort in, yeah? Put some effort in, but not too much, because I'm not going to read 3 paragraphs. I don't have time. Do like Arcade Ness, who asked a very pertinent, important question. What is your favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? And he's put in brackets, everyone can answer. Thanks, mate.
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Oh, are we going to answer it now?
Kindergarten Cop.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
Or Jingle All the Way.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming either. Wow. That's amazing.
I'm going to have to go with Running Man.
Fuck, that's a tough one. Probably.
I can't believe you're in a tub this whole time.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird.
So prudy. I've never been in a tub for 2 hours.
I look like I have progeria now.
I imagine it's got to get to a point where it just starts hurting.
It's just exhausting being in a bathtub for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Probably good for me or bad for me or something. I'm not even sure.
I don't know.
My favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is either True Lies or Terminator 2.
Huh. All right.
It's pretty obvious, but I really like those. I've seen those a lot, so.
Sure.
I thought The Sixth Day was kind of underrated, though. That was a good movie.
That's the...
Who are you? I'm you. Who am I? I don't know.
Oh, that was the clone one. I mix up The Sixth Day with End of Days.
Right.
Because they both have day in it.
Who are you? I'm the devil.
You know, he's got a new movie coming out called Captive.
Who are you? I'm in jail.
Yeah, pretty much. That's coming out.
I watched Batman and Robin for the first time ever the other night.
Oh, fuck.
My wife decided to buy it on Blu-ray.
Oh, fuck.
What?
Which I thought was fantastic.
I didn't know that happened.
That's
amazing.
I think it's genius. It's like...
Sure.
That is why I married this. This is why I'm in Mississippi for this woman, because she saw Batman and Robin on Blu-ray and thought, that will be good to get. Like, that is just fantastic. So we sat there and watched it, and it was glorious. That is... Give it another few years, and that will supersede Running Man as my favourite Schwarzenegger film.
Well, it is something. Yeah. Batman.
It is great. It's one of those movies where if you just take it as a comedy, it's fucking great. Just to
That's
watch,
how I feel about the... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, just to watch Uma Thurman fucking hamming it up, and like Uma Thurman in that film hams it up as much as Raul Julia does in the Street Fighter film.
Yeah, she took it for all it was worth. She took it all the way.
She damn right did.
Yeah.
Wasn't even a sentence. She damn right did.
I think I have to go with Conan the Barbarian.
Who are you? I'm a wolf witch. I'm turned into a wolf.
It was written by Oliver Stone too, who's considers himself legit.
He used to write a lot of weird back in the day.
Yeah, I am down. I'm down with early Oliver Stone. Absolutely.
Old Smith says, we'll close off with this one. If you had to pick any video game character's outfit to wear every day for the rest of your life, which would you choose? He says he's going to be disappointed if no one picks Voldo. None of us are going to pick it now.
Pick what?
Voldo.
Oh yeah, that sexy guy.
Yes, the sexy guy.
What? I don't know. There's a lot of ones that would just be fine to wear. Like
I'm gonna go Kuja from Final Fantasy IX because dem hips.
He's got a monkey tail too, right?
Yeah, he's got a monkey tail.
Yeah, then I would pick any character who has a prehensile tail if that comes with the outfit.
I'd probably go with Jeepers. I'd probably go with the Commander Shepard armor. I really like armor. Space armor would be cool.
You do like armor.
Yeah. Neat.
Would you want to be in the Samus Aran armor? I call her Iran.
I'd want to be at Samus Aran. That's for damn sure.
Oh!
It's a girl.
Yeah. It's hard to say because all the women in video games are dressed so slutty.
Well, Samus isn't, except for when she does dress
like so. I mean, I wouldn't want to like wear huge armor in real life, though.
Lara Croft wears some pretty sensible outfits.
Yeah, she does. And she's got big boobs like me, so...
True. That's true.
I mean, a lot of her stuff just looks like it came from like Banana Republic or something. It's pretty normal.
Yeah, it doesn't look particularly cool, does it?
It's kind of my style, actually. Kind of tomboyish, except, without the bare midriff.
It doesn't... I mean, you don't have to pick your own gender. You could wear a Big Daddy suit.
That's true. And there's Big Sisters, too, right? Bioshock 2?
Actually, speaking of Bioshock, the Elizabeth's outfit in Bioshock Infinite looks kind of
painful.
Cool. Just like as an outfit, not as like a video game outfit.
Yeah.
But
Jesus, that'll dig into your ribs, though. It's got a corset.
Yeah.
Not if it's made of marshmallow.
That's a good point, Jim.
There's always that.
If I had to wear anything from a video game, I'd probably dress like Kirby every day.
I already do. Just have to take my shirt off, and there you go.
Yeah, this has been a lot of self-depreciation for you, Jim. This episode.
Yeah,
it makes me sad. I worry about
I labour onto the false impression it'll stop other people doing it, but it doesn't work like that. It never works like that. It just makes them try harder.
I feel a certain emptiness. I feel so sad all of a sudden. Why am I sad?
Oh.
The last comment on the Podtoid post is, "You guys are my only friends."
Yeah, EV777. You guys are my only friends.
Maybe I shouldn't be sad then.
Oh, that's stupid.
I feel a certain emptiness. There's something wrong with it. Yeah. Why am I sad? Yeah. We all like each other, right? It's not that. I'm not.
Cake. Jonathan Holmes behind.
Okay.
He smiles and dances in the bed.
Okay.
I feel like Jim just became like a giant...
You're in the bath, you're wet. It's up your bum.
Guys. Jim.
Yeah.
Freaking me out, man.
What's up, man?
You're fucking creepy.
Oh, it's good. It's cute.
I'm sorry, dude.
Singing your weird songs.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's like an Ewok song. You just turned into an Ewok.
I'm sorry, man. Let's
sound like a creepy doll from a horror movie.
Let's keep it real, man.
Think so?
Come on.
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking.
Keep it real.
Let's keep it grounded, yeah? Keep it grounded, keep it safe. Okay, guys? Come on now.
That makes for a good show.
Let's do it.
That's true.
Keep it Let's do it now, yeah? Hey? Come on, what? Yeah, obviously. What? Yeah, okay. Come on now. Fuck. It's about that time to end it. Call it quits. Wrap this
up.
Oh, God. Thank you, all, one and all, for listening to Podtoid, as always. I've been your host, Jim Sterling, and Max and Tara have been here as well. And you can catch them Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the Destructoid Show on YouTube. I was going to say Europe. YouTube, Rev3, and Destructoid.com. Myself, Jonathan Holmes, we're there every week on Destructoid. Look out for the Gears of War 3 review, which is going to go up sometime this week. I don't know if it'll be embargo, but we'll fucking try. And yeah, get the app, get the Android app, just if you want to support us in any way, just if you want to give us a little bit of money. We've got an app on Android. You get nothing special. We physically can't do it. But
it's $2.
It's $2 and somehow it'll help us. We actually broke even on our hosting thanks to the Android app. So thank you all so much for doing that. It's really appreciated. So yeah, see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I forgot to pretend to be a sarcastic old man. Oh. Next time.
Next
I guess,
time.
if you want. If you ask for it.
That's a nice sequel hook.
Yeah, that's right. Cliffhanger.
That'll
Bye,
keep
everybody.
them tuning in.
Yeah, they really want that. Yes.